So my book is about the Greenbelt Towns program. It was part of the Resettlement Administration, which was part of the New Deal, which was Franklin Roosevelt's effort to get the economy going again during the Great Depression. The economy had pretty much ground to a halt. Roosevelt tried a variety of experiments to try to get it going again. One of those was work relief programs, which was putting men to work with the government paying their salaries, which was a pretty new idea at the time. So the Greenbelt towns were the government building entire towns, houses, streets, schools, shopping centers, movie theaters, swimming pools, everything. It built 3 towns: Green Hills, Ohio; Greenbelt, Maryland, just outside of DC; Greendale, Wisconsin, just outside of Milwaukee. It was also relatively controversial because it was so expensive. So if you drive into the town of Green Hills today, you'll see a large white building right in the center of town. That was where I went to middle school. I was having a conversation with my advisor in graduate school, and she said, "Have you ever heard of this town called Green Hills?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I went to school there." And as soon as she said it, I said, "Well, that's my topic. That fits everything. It checks every box." I did my undergraduate work at UC. I got my master's degree at UC. Was really excited when I heard UC was starting its own press. To be with a new press, I know a lot of people think, oh no, you want a long established press. You want one that has a long track record. I really like the idea that this is a young one. It's fresh. It has new ideas. It's not locked into something that they've been doing for 20 or 30 years. They're coming at it with a new approach, and I really like that. So the New Deal was really just all these different experiments cobbled together. He was always all about whatever works. The argument I make in the book is that there was no way could completely succeed, because as work relief, Roosevelt wanted it to employ as many people as possible, which meant using unskilled labor and inefficient methods. But the planners and the administrators wanted it to be a model for how you could provide better housing for the masses. People tend to think of Franklin Roosevelt as this radical liberal who pushed us into some sort of socialist society. And it really wasn't that way at all. He did have he was more towards the liberal side for sure, but he was just a really pragmatic politician, and he wanted to do what would work. Probably the biggest misconception is that the New Deal actually did turn the economy around. It didn't. It saved individual people. It helped an enormous number of Americans get through those rough years. But what turned the economy around was World War II. So it's not that the New Deal failed, but they never found the magic formula for how to reset the economy. If anyone can visit any of the 3 towns, I would really encourage them to do it. If you're familiar with Green Hills because it's here and local, if you can go into, say, Greenbelt, Maryland, as soon as you drive in, if you have a rental car or whatever, you get in and you say, yeah, it feels Green Hills-ish. You can tell that they're related, like they're cousins or something. Each one has a very different feel to them. And to just walk around the towns and think about how this was the federal government doing this. It was such a huge effort. And the families who moved into these homes, for the most part, were moving out of really bad tenement situations. And when they looked back years later, they talked about what this was just like magic to them. We moved out of these horrible living situations and into these clean, new, modern homes. And it was like a miracle.